Well, good afternoon, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Dodd in here with you on your Sunday afternoon, August 18th, 2024. It is 2:48 p.m., and the Storm Prediction Center has now issued a severe thunderstorm watch, which covers a large chunk of Alabama, Georgia, and even up into South Carolina on this Sunday afternoon for the possibility of severe thunderstorms. We told you yesterday during our live severe weather coverage that we felt like there was a decent chance we were going to do this again. And here we are. It looks like it's going to be a stormy Sunday afternoon and early evening across East Alabama and West Georgia. We already have showers and thunderstorms developing out there, and we're going to show that to you and talk about it, answer your questions over in the chat room. But first, let me remind you that, folks, we do this based on your support. So we ask that you support Dr. Don's Weather. At the top of this video or this live stream, there are all kinds of links there where you can support us. And we depend on your support to be able to do this every time we have severe weather across East Alabama and West Georgia. We also have several openings if you own a business and would like to be a partner with us here on Dr. Don's Weather. All you have to do is send me a message on Messenger, and we can get you started possibly this afternoon, but certainly by the time we do our primetime forecast first thing tomorrow morning. So please consider supporting Dr. Don's Weather. Also, please make sure you share us with all of your friends. Hit that share button right now. If you're over on Facebook and YouTube, you want to share with all of your friends and family. We had over 30,000 views yesterday afternoon. That's phenomenal, but we need to keep that going. We need to get that up over 200,000. Would be fantastic. So make sure you share us, make sure you like us, make sure you do all those social media things. And folks, listen to me. If you're on Facebook, you got to go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe and click that little bell so that you get notified when we go live for severe weather. You're not going to necessarily get instant notification on Facebook. You will on YouTube. So make sure you do that. Okay, let's go ahead now and take a look at the radar, and let's talk about what's going on out there at this hour. Again, the orange area that you see is a severe thunderstorm watch. And I already see a question in the chat box that draws my attention. So it's just thunderstorms. Folks, see, here I go. I'm about to get on my soapbox. Understand that you have to respect thunderstorms. Thunderstorms can kill you just as quick as tornadoes or anything else. You heard me say this multiple times yesterday. Wind is wind. It doesn't care whether it comes from a thunderstorm, a tornado, a hurricane, a downburst. It doesn't matter. Wind is wind. It's the same. It's just as dangerous regardless of where it comes from. So when there is a thunderstorm in the area, you have to take cover. You have to understand that this can kill you just as quick as a tornado or hurricane or anything else. So you got to respect those thunderstorms. Yes, this is a thunderstorm environment that could be extremely dangerous for you. So you've got to understand where you are on the map. You got to understand what a thunderstorm watch and warning means, and you've got to be prepared to take those precautionary measures in the event that your area goes under a severe thunderstorm warning. And we do have some strong thunderstorms developing already this afternoon. Metro Atlanta is already under a severe thunderstorm warning, and we have a big thunderstorm growing in Randolph County at this hour. So first thing I'm going to do is take the watch box off because it gets a little hard to understand what's going on with all that, those different colors. And let's go take a look at this Randolph County storm. And here we go. It's between Wedowee and Newell. It's sitting up there right over Woodland at this hour. It is very strong. Now, it's not severe. We don't have any type of information from the Weather Service, and we're watching the Weather Service chat room right now, and they're not talking about this storm just yet, but a special weather statement or a severe thunderstorm warning for this storm in Randolph County would not surprise me this afternoon. This thing is pretty strong. Let me take a look at a couple of different products here. First thing we're going to do is look at the base velocity. I don't see much in the way of wind. It's gusty. No question about that. You got 10, 15 mile per hour winds here, especially off to the east of Woodland over toward the county line. I'm seeing some 20, maybe 25 mile per hour wind gusts there. But from Newell to Woodland down to Napoleon, a strong thunderstorm developing at this hour in Randolph County. Let's zoom back out. We'll show you the big picture. Again, over here in Atlanta, we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. This is for a strong thunderstorm sitting up there on the north end of downtown Atlanta, up there at Midtown, and that's going to, it's moving right through downtown Atlanta, and that's going to cause a mess with the traffic there. Moving off to the southeast, so Forest Park, Redan, down around Stockbridge, heads up, that storm is headed your way. Let's go back into Alabama, and you'll see that we do have a couple of special weather statements that have been issued by the Weather Service. This is going to be over in Talladega and just to the northwest of Talladega. We have a strong thunderstorm developing at this hour, and the Weather Service has issued a special weather statement on this storm. And I'll read the text of it for you. A strong thunderstorm will impact central Talladega and south central St. Clair County through 3:15. At 2:50, Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm near Coosa Island or near Pell City, moving to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. Wind gust of up to 40 miles per hour and pea-sized hail is going to be the main threat with this particular thunderstorm. And you see we actually have a couple of different cells. One is directly over Talladega. The other is back off to the west of Talladega, and that's coming across the river. Just crossed over 231, moving to the southeast. Heads up Waldo. This is going to be impacting you next. Big strong thunderstorm up around Mount Cheaha, just between Chulafini and Delta. Another area of developing activity just to the northwest of Millerville. I want to zoom back out. Anniston, you've got some showers up there, but nothing severe at the moment. And all of this activity, when I put the radar in motion, you can see all of this activity is moving to the southeast this afternoon at around 20 to 25 miles per hour. So that's what we're looking at right now across East Alabama and West Georgia. Just want to give you a heads up and let you know that we do have that special weather statement now we have a new special weather statement just issued. This is for Cleburne County. That's for that storm that came out of Cleburne County down into Randolph. So they did let that expire for Cleburne, and they have not reissued for Randolph at this hour. So we'll stop the loop currently right there on that Randolph County storm, and we'll just hold that shot right there. Now, let me run up here to the chat room and see if we have any questions here. Hey, Bar, nice to see you in Cropple, Alabama. Cole says that it's storming in Talladega, no question. We just showed that to you on the radar. Big thunderstorm sitting right on top of Talladega. Hey, Sharon, watching us over in Ellick City. Thank you, John. Paula's asking a question, what's the pink area? Yes, that pink area, and I think there's a little bitty spot in Randolph. Let me go over here and we'll zoom in. That is a good indication that it's hail. It's not 100% that that's hail, but that's a good indication that we may have some small hail right there with that little bitty pink spot. Now, what you start looking for are blues inside the pink and white, and if you get into some black, you got a real problem. But the pink, purplish pink color, that is an indication that there could be some small hail there, or either it is extremely heavy rainfall, one of the two. Hello, Columbus, Georgia. Hey, Cassandra. strong winds in Woodland. Yeah, you got 20, maybe 25 mile per hour wind gust in Woodland with this storm. Remember, you got to make it to 58 mile per hour winds before you get a severe thunderstorm warning. So even though they seem strong, you're well below severe thunderstorm criteria right now. James is watching us in Opelika. Heavy thunder, Ridge Way, Frolona area in Heard County. Thanks, Todd. How long will this last for Wedowee, and are we getting any more? Paige Mitchell. Yes, there's some more upstream from Wedowee. I mean, it stretches all the way up north of Anniston. And actually, there's some even further north than that. So, yeah, this is going to be an afternoon event. I think a couple of hours maybe for East Alabama. Eventually, all of this is going to migrate to the south. And I think I know for a fact the better chances for severe weather are going to be south of most of East Alabama and West Georgia. Here's the latest graphic from the Weather Service. And you can see that we have a level 1 risk for central and northern Randolph and Cleburne, central and northern Clay and Calhoun, central and northern Talladega, and that goes all the way back over to Mississippi, and then it stretches back into Georgia as well. That's a 1 out of 5 risk. And then the yellow is a 2 out of 5 risk, which means basically that there's a better chance of severe weather in the yellow shaded areas, but that doesn't mean that you can't have a severe thunderstorm anywhere across Alabama or Georgia this afternoon, and we're seeing that. We've got some strong storms developing up here in the green area. So that is the timing over to the right. We just caught a severe thunderstorm warning for Talladega County. That's for that storm sitting over Talladega. Timing on this is between now and 6 p.m. this afternoon. Doesn't mean it's going to storm the entire time between now and 6 p.m., but that's the window of opportunity for severe weather across Alabama and Georgia. Let's go back to the radar. And we've got a severe thunderstorm warning coming for Talladega County. If I had to guess, and it hasn't populated just yet on our system, but if I had to guess, it's for that area right there. That is going to be to the west of Talladega. And this is moving in this general direction. So no question where the strongest part of the storm is. It's going to be north and west of Winterboro, west, a little bit northwest of Talladega. It's going to be south of Pell City, a little bit to the east of 231. And let's see, I think I've got the verbiage on this. All right, so the National Weather Service in Birmingham has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for central Talladega County in east central Alabama until 3:45. At 2:59 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Alpine Bay Resort, or 7 miles west of Talladega, moving to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. Hazard with this storm is 60 mile per hour wind gust and quarter-sized hail. Again, that is a severe thunderstorm warning now for central Talladega County in Talladega County, Alabama. Folks, one thing to understand when I'm doing live severe weather coverage, if I'm not talking about your town, that means you have nothing to worry about at the moment. We focus on those areas where we have severe weather taking place. And if your town is involved, you're going to hear about your town. At the moment, if I'm not talking about your town, there's nothing going on. In East Alabama, we have 2, maybe 3 areas of concern. The biggest being that severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued up there for Talladega County. And then we have a strong thunderstorm developing over eastern Randolph County. It's going to be over County Road 87 on the eastern side of Randolph, about to move into Heard County. We have a developing thunderstorm between Delta and Chulafini, and then we have a developing thunderstorm just to the west of Millerville. We take a little wide shot there, and you can see nothing happening down in the southern half of Randolph. No severe weather in Clay County, though we do have that developing storm in the southwestern part of the county and up there in the extreme northeastern part of the county as well. We've got a storm developing up there. And actually, when we roll this forward, we will see the development of that storm in Talladega County. You'll see it really explode right there at the end of the last volume scan, and there comes your severe thunderstorm warning. That's just populated on the screen. Now we have a special weather statement for the Randolph County storm as well. And I will read that to you. Strong thunderstorm will impact northeastern Randolph County through 3:15 this afternoon at 3 p.m. Doppler radar is tracking a strong thunderstorm near Woodland or 9 miles east of Wedowee, moving to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. Gusty winds could knock down some tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Minor hail damage to vegetation is also possible with this particular storm. So that's the storm that's sitting over Potash right now. No question, Big Springs, you got some heavy weather going on. Potash is catching the brunt of this. That's where that possible hail core is located, right there. So if you are... give me just a second here. If you're down here on County Road 637, County Road 65, County Road 639, County Road 635, County Road 63, County Road 706, County Road 641. These are all Randolph County roads. That is where the heaviest part of this storm is occurring right now, that possible hail core right there in the Potash area. And this is going to move in this general direction. Going back over to the Talladega County storm. Your hail core is just west of Talladega, maybe 3 or 4 miles to the west of Talladega. Jonesview Road. Let's see, Old Tram Road. County Road 203. County Road 278. Plantersville Road. West Renfro. Hayes Road. These are all locations in Talladega County where the heaviest part of the storm is taking place at this time. Waldo, you've got heavy rain, but the severe part of this is still off to your northwest. Nothing going on down in Valley. It's a beautiful sunny day in Valley, Alabama at this hour. That's going to change. You're going to get some storms down there before it's over with. Thank you, Linda. Power blinking in the Malone area. Thank you, Sharon. Hey, me again. Good to see you, Kim. Connie asking about Wadley and Clay County. Nothing to worry about at the moment. The storms in Talladega, will they move through Randolph? Most likely they're going to run right through the middle of Clay. Could catch the southwest corner of Randolph. You folks down there in Wadley, Corinth, Malone, even up on Lake Wedowee need to pay attention to that storm coming out of Talladega. We'll see. It's still a ways away. These storms are hard to predict much past, maybe 20 or 30 minutes, and that one's probably about 45 minutes to an hour away from making it down into an area where it could possibly clip the southwest Randolph County corner of the county. Sun shining in Roanoke. Absolutely it is. Sun shining in a lot of places across East Alabama and West Georgia. Judy's in the Hobson community. Dakota's watching us from Randolph County. Bill, everything looks good in Fredonia right now. Hey, Derek Farr. That's my buddy right there. Lineville, Alabama checking in. Thank you, Derek. Thank you for your support over the years. It's greatly appreciated. ETA on LaGrange. Folks, understand there's so much that can change in a short period of time. LaGrange is, let's see here. From the storm up in Talladega, LaGrange is 62 miles away. Now you got a little storm sitting up here in Randolph County that's probably going to run a little bit north of you. It's only about 30 miles away. But understand, these things will change in complexity. They'll change in shape. They'll change in size. It's, weather science is good. I mean, comparatively speaking to where we were at, just 10 years ago, really. But being able to tell you in LaGrange, Georgia, exactly which one of these storms is going to affect you and what time it'll be there and how bad it'll be when it gets there, we can't do that. And I'm not even going to pull your leg and try to tell you that we can. What we can do, though, is watch it together. And when it gets a little bit closer, we can give you a little better idea of what you're going to be looking at if and when it moves through there. I will say that with this setup this afternoon, there's a good chance you're going to get some storms in LaGrange. There's nothing to inhibit the further development of these storms downstream, so they're not going to weaken. They're not going to fall apart. If anything, they're going to grow and become stronger. So keep that in mind as you plan the rest of your afternoon. I'll tell you this, if you're outside, if you've got an outside event going on today, if you're at the creek, if you're at the river, if you're at the lake, you want to have, even though the sun's shining and it's beautiful out there right now, you want to have everything ready so you can get out of Dodge pretty quick. You don't want to get caught in one of these thunderstorms. More people get injured and hurt in thunderstorms than they do tornadoes. It's because people don't take tornadoes as serious. Thunderstorms as serious. You got to use that tornado word to get people's attention, and we got to change that. You got to respect those thunderstorms. When you hear a severe thunderstorm warning is issued for your area, you got to take cover. You got to go inside. You can't stay outside. You can't, it's just a thunderstorm. A thunderstorm will kill you quick, fast, and in a hurry. All it takes is one tree, one stroke of lightning, and it's over with. And that all comes from thunderstorms. So you got to respect it. I posted a video yesterday of an outdoor event, and there's no reason, and I'm not being critical, but there's absolutely no reason for those folks to have been caught outside in that weather. I'm talking about the one where the bouncy house blows away. You see a mother running with her child through the thunderstorm, running against the wind, trying to get inside. There's absolutely no reason for that to have taken place. And that's what frustrates me the most, and that's what drives me to do what I do. you gotta have some situational awareness. You gotta know what's coming toward you. You gotta, and that was a thunderstorm. That wasn't even a tornado. That was just a thunderstorm. You gotta respect this stuff. You gotta know what's coming. You gotta have a plan, and you've got to put your plan in motion at the right time to protect yourself and your family. It's just something you got to do if you want to be safe from severe weather. If you do all of those things, there's no reason to fear severe weather. The ones who need to fear severe weather are the ones who live for the moment and have no earthly idea what's going on around them. Those are the ones who are going to get hurt, or unfortunately worse. Got a report of 52-mile-per-hour winds measured at the Talladega Airport. That's coming from the National Weather Service. Strongest part of the severe warned storm will likely track south of the city of Talladega proper and cross Highway 21 right where it splits off from the bypass at 275. Or maybe more likely to be between the split off and Winterboro. So these storms are going to be, they're punching a pretty good punch, and they're going to be capable of laying down some pretty good wind this afternoon, apparently. We have two advisories we're looking at. We have the special weather statement for Randolph. We now have a special weather statement for Heard and Northwestern Troop. And that's going to be for this storm coming out of Randolph County. So if you're down there in Denver, that's over in Heard County. Probably not going to affect you much up in Franklin. But down here at Denver, right there where Heard, Randolph, and Troop all kind of come together, we've lost the special weather statement for Randolph, but the Weather Service is issuing a special weather statement now for southwestern Heard and northwestern Troop County. So all of you folks down here on Lake West Point, especially from Holiday Park north, now's the time to invoke your plan to go to a safe place. I know the sun's still shining. You're out there in the middle of the lake. You're looking back to the north and northwest, and yeah, you see a little dark cloud out there on the horizon. Gorgeous Sunday afternoon. We're going to keep on skiing. We're going to keep on riding this tube. Don't do it. Now is the time to head to the dock, and at the very least, shelter in place in your automobile. The best idea is to find somewhere like a bathhouse or something much more substantial than your automobile. And ride this storm out. It's not going to last long. Another 35, 40 minutes, you'll probably be okay to get back out on the water. Don't stay out there on the lake when you know this thing's coming in your direction. You're playing Russian roulette if you do that. So please listen to what I'm telling you. Then back over here now, we have a special weather statement just issued for Clay County. So apparently the Weather Service is not going to extend the severe thunderstorm warning into Clay. They're going to handle it with a special weather statement for Clay County. I'll read it to you. Strong thunderstorm will impact Clay County through 4 p.m. At 3:14 p.m., Doppler radar is tracking a strong thunderstorm near Waldo or near Talladega, moving to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. Wind gusts to 50 miles per hour, and pea-sized hail is likely with this storm. We do see that they are continuing the severe thunderstorm warning for Talladega, but for the time being, they're going to go with a special weather statement for Clay. Special weather statement is to get your attention. We got a strong thunderstorm, and then a upgrade from a special weather statement is a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's kind of how that works. You go special weather statement, severe thunderstorm warning, and then tornado warning. That's kind of the three levels. That's the way that works. Let's go back over to the Randolph County storm. I'm going to take you in street level. Springfield, Weehadkee, Waresville, High Shoals, Rock Mills, this is knocking on your door. Glenn, Georgia, this is knocking on your door. Heads up, Bacon level. Roanoke, you've got a nasty-looking cloud coming at you, but that's not the part of the storm that is the strongest, though that is going to be a respectable portion of the storm that's moving right down the Friendship Community, Crystal Lake, and it'll move right over Roanoke, Center Chapel. The part that the Weather Service is warning you about is going to be this piece that's up here just to the southeast of High Shoals. And that's what's going to end up moving on down toward Lake West Point. Let me do some artwork here. So that's the leading edge, and it's moving in this general direction. So places like Standing Rock, Wares Crossroads, the Chattahoochee River up here on the north end of West Point Lake, eventually LaGrange, and maybe even Hogansville. You're going to be dealing with this stuff coming out of Randolph and Heard. I have a special weather statement now for Carroll County for a storm sitting up there near Carrollton. And that one is moving to the southeast toward Whitesburg and Banning Mills. So very heavy rainfall occurring right there in Carrollton and just to the south of Carrollton as well. Chapel Heights Estate, just north of Lowell. That's where the heaviest rain is occurring with that one. And we still have a mess up here, especially the southeast side of Atlanta, right down I-75. They had a problem on 75 yesterday with some of this heavy rainfall up there, and they're dealing with it again today. And this is a very large special weather statement. The part that covers Randolph also gets southern Cleburne, back up toward Anniston, almost all the way to Raglan. This special weather statement is going to affect Calhoun, Clay, Talladega, Randolph, St. Clair, and Cleburne. And that's going to be for all of those little spots of red that you see. Just take your pick, depending on where you are. That's just one big blanket special weather statement. I like that idea. Instead of having 15 different special weather statements, it'll get confusing. They're just encompassing that entire area. Any one of these storms, even though they're relatively small, they could pack quite the punch. So they just issued a blanket special weather statement for all those counties. Bottom just fell out in Rock Mills. Rough on County Road 87 around Springfield. Thoughts on Lake Wedowee? I think Lake Wedowee is going to get some storms. It's going to be a stormy Sunday afternoon across all of East Alabama and West Georgia. Thundering in Cragford. Raining hard in Roanoke. Erica says that was scary looking. That's called a shelf cloud. Is it best to get off of Lake Wedowee right now? Yeah, I would. You got that storm coming out of Clay County that's around Corinth in Clay. That's going to move right over Malone, and that's that's pretty much going to be south of the lake. But look what's happening up here around Lineville and Barfield. That's going to come directly over Lake Wedowee. So, yeah, you don't need to be on Lake Wedowee. You don't need to be down here on West Point Lake. Even you folks down here at Lake Harding need to be paying attention to what's happening up above you. Now, I'm not saying you need to get off the water down here right now, but you need to be aware of what's happening north of you because eventually it will get down there. Same thing for Lake Martin down here in Alexander, south of Alexander City. I mean, nothing's happening down there at the moment, but look at all this stuff to your north. That's eventually going to move down there. It's going to affect your Sunday afternoon, even down here at Wind Creek State Park. And, of course, Lake Logan Martin, Lay Lake, all that, you guys have got scattered showers around you, but you've pretty much already dealt with yours this morning, though you could see some more before it's over with. Okay, a strong thunderstorm will impact southern Randolph, northern Tallapoosa, northern Chambers, and southeastern Clay through 4:15 p.m. At 3:23 p.m., Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm near Malone or near Lake Wedowee, moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. Wind gusts to 50 miles per hour and pea-sized hail possible with this storm. So they're talking about this storm that we were just looking at. Adam says he's on a lawnmower in Rock Mills. Reckon I need to go inside. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Slay's trying to be cute right there. Stay on the lawnmower. All right, so this is the cell that we were just talking about when I had the question about Lake Wedowee. Folks asking, should they get off the lake? Absolutely, you should get off the lake. But here we go. This storm is capable of producing 50-mile-per-hour winds, and we're below severe limits at the moment, but it's not going to take much for them to push a warning on this one. So if I'm down here in southwest Randolph County, I pay attention to this. Malone, Foresters Chapel, Wadley, Corinth community, and even Dickert. This is going to come right over Dickert. This is going to be a strong thunderstorm for you down there in southwest Randolph County. And look what's happening here at Rock Mills. That's a pretty good hail core right there. This is going to be between Bacon Level and Rock Mills. County Road 664. County Road 75, County Road 682, County Road 16, Highway 22, County Road 686. That's a pretty good indication of hail right there. Let's see. Got a report from Brianna Green that it is hailing on County Road 26 up on the ridge. Cloud to ground lightning northwest of Corinth community. That's from Mr. Joe Knight. Joe's one of our weather watchers over there in the southwest corner of the county. Does a fantastic job, and we appreciate him. So again, pretty much all of Clay and Randolph now. Well, not pretty much. It's a fact. All of Randolph, Clay, most of Chambers and Tallapoosa under a special weather statement. Also southwestern Herd, northwestern Troop, and a severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Talladega County. Continue. Also, pretty much all of Cleburne, Calhoun, under special weather statements as well. Carroll County under a special weather statement for that storm just to the southwest of Carrollton. pretty stormy afternoon across East Alabama and West Georgia. So just getting word from the National Weather Service at Peachtree City. This will be of interest to you folks in Coweta County. You'll remember if you were watching our live yesterday afternoon, we had, when that storm came out of Heard County into Coweta, we had what appeared to be an anomaly on the radar, but it was a little curlicue that spun up just south of downtown Newnan. It was only there for one volume scan. It was very quick. But now the National Weather Service says they are going to send a survey team down to Newnan probably tomorrow to take a look to see if it possibly was a very quick spin-up tornado. Now, understand, yesterday's environment and today's environment are a carbon copy of one another. So just that hammers home the point why you need to treat a severe thunderstorm warning just as though it's a tornado warning. Because small, quick spin-up tornadoes, sometimes with no warning, can happen in thunderstorms, even in conditions where the atmosphere is not really conducive for the formation of tornadoes, which is what we have right now. We may have had a small spin-up tornado just south of Newnan out toward the interstate yesterday in a thunderstorm, just exactly like what we're looking at across Talladega, Clay, and Randolph this afternoon. So when a warning is issued, anytime it's storming, that's just the common sense thing to do. You don't really have to have the government to tell you need to take cover. I mean, if the sky's dark, the wind's blowing, lightning's hitting the ground, hello. Take care of yourself and your family. Go to your safe place. You don't have to wait for Dr. Don or the National Weather Service to tell you what to do, folks. Common sense. That's what we're talking about right here. Severe weather will kill you. All right, let's go back down here. I'm going to get off my soapbox before I'll get myself in trouble in here to Sunday afternoon. I'm liable to go to preaching at any moment. Macocius Mill, Standing Rock, heads up. You got a heavy one coming your way. A very heavy rainfall, probably some lightning taking place right there as well. Things should start to improve in Rock Mills. Things should start to improve in Glen. This is headed directly toward Abbott's Ford, Holiday Park, Amity Park. Probably Ware's Crossroads will catch part of this as well. Going to be a close call for you, LaGrange. You may catch the east side of this, but if the structure stays the same as it is right now, the heaviest part of this should move down through Lake West Point just to your west. I had a question about Fredonia a while ago. Heads up, Fredonia. Even over toward 5 Points and Stroud, Standing Rock. This storm's coming directly at you. Going to let this thing loop a little bit. Yes, we are in a severe thunderstorm watch. But now understand, watch means, all a watch is, it just simply means the conditions are favorable for the formation of severe storms. Now we're having those severe storms form. So what will happen next is if a storm goes severe, and what's the requirement for a severe thunderstorm? 1 inch in diameter hail or winds in excess of 58 miles per hour, or a possible tornado. So now what will happen is we already have the watch. So now if we get a storm that meets those criteria, then we'll get a warning for the area that storm will affect. Yeah, the trend, though, that we're seeing here if there's a silver lining in all of this, here comes a severe thunderstorm warning now for Clay, Coosa, and Tallapoosa. There it is. All right, there's a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be for Clay, Coosa, and Tallapoosa. At 2:59 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located over Alpine. That's the wrong one. Hang on. At 3:32 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Sycamore, or 9 miles east of Sylacauga, moving to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. Hazard with this storm is 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. So, again, this is going to affect places like Alexander City, Ashland, Goodwater, Kellyton, Jackson Gap, New Site, Goldville, and probably Lake Martin. Ashland, you're right on the edge of this. I'm not sure how much of it you get. No question where the heaviest part of the storm is. It's right there just south of Millerville. There's your hail core. Let me hit the base velocity. Oh, look at that. We actually have some rotation in this as well. There's your rotation. Now, it's very broad. I mean, this is just a big, huge, nasty thunderstorm that is rotating. You've got a really incredible shelf cloud running out ahead of this thing. If you're down here in Goodwater looking back up to the north, it looks ominous. If you're in New Site looking back up toward this storm, it looks horrible. But this is a severe thunderstorm warning now for a very dangerous storm. Understand, we did probably have a pop-up tornado yesterday over Noonan from a storm that didn't look this significant. So I'm telling you, we got a little rotation going on in this thing, broad rotation. So if I'm in the path of this storm, I'm going to be real close to my evacuation place, my safe place. So heads up, New Site, Daviston, Goodwater, Goldville, Hackneyville, Mountain Community. You're catching the eastern side of it. Look what's happening over here in Wadley. Big storm right there between Malone and Wadley. Very heavy rainfall out there at Southern Union State Community College. Southern Union brings you your Doppler weather radar that you see there on the screen. I would not drive from Lafayette to Jackson Gap at the moment. No, Kim, I wouldn't. Report of a tree down on Highway 22 at Rock Mills. Big thunderstorm coming through the southwest corner of Randolph County. We still have that ongoing storm from Roanoke all the way down to Macocius Mill, Standing Rock, and down to a point just north of Holiday Park. And the way this is lining up now, LaGrange, I think you will catch part of this. You're going to catch the eastern side of it. You're welcome, Kim. Heard County, you got another storm coming out of southwest Carroll that's probably going to affect Heard. We have more storms up here along I-20 coming down into Cleburne County just to the east of Anniston. We're trying to get some more smaller cells going between Pell City and Childersburg. Look at that nasty up there just north of Gardendale. But the main reason we are here broadcasting, we got some storms ongoing right in the heart of the Dr. Don coverage area of East Alabama and West Georgia. I'm going to go back down street level here and show you what's taking place. There's Roanoke in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Maybe some small hail there on the south side of town. Still raining heavy in Bacon Level, McCosh's Mill, Standing Rock. Highway 431, yeah, you're okay. It's pretty heavy rain from Roanoke all the way to Welch. But after that, things improved down around Stroud. Heavy rain now. Moving into 5 Points Farms. Down at the venue. Another big sponsor for us here on Dr. Don's Weather. Rain moving into Holiday Park. If you're out there, I mean, if you're still on Lake West Point, you're asking for it. I mean, you don't need to be anywhere on the water. There should not be a boat in this water anywhere down here. And if you're in this area looking back north, this looks extremely ominous. I mean, this is a nasty-looking cloud moving right down West Point Lake. Just crossed over Highway 109. It is some serious rain falling out there on the 109 bridge right now. Lee's Crossing, you should be able to see this thing coming at you as well. And then, of course, downtown LaGrange. But if you're down here at Lynette, Gabbettville, anywhere on Lake West Point, you need to be getting off the water if you're down. If you know someone that's maybe hanging out at the lake, call them. Make sure they are aware of what's going on. Bitsy Davidson said, it's not pretty in Standing Rock right now. No, it's not. You've got a hail core right there. Right there at Standing Rock. That's most likely hail. It's probably small hail, but nonetheless, I think you do have some hail there. Hail on County Road 33. Joe says they had some hail in Corinth. I see it. There it is. It's moving now back toward Foster's Chapel. And this may catch the west side of Roanoke. Certainly will get Doublehead and Milltown. Pennon, you're probably going to catch some of this one. 5 Points. And eventually this may be a Lafayette storm as well. This whole area is trying to get a line together. But again, understand the part of the storm that's in Randolph, Chambers, and Troop, not severe. It's below severe limits. But you look back over here in southern Clay, now moving into northeastern Coosa, Tallapoosa. That is severe. Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning on that part of the storm. And some of that could end up down here in Chambers, too. So heads up Elliott City, heads up Dadeville, Jackson Gap, New Site, Daviston, Frog Eye. Anything coming through Opelika? Not at the moment. But all this stuff will end up down here in Lee County before the day's done. I mean, it's all moving to the southeast. So within the next, couple of hours, you're going to have some storms down here in Lee County. Let's see. I saw a question. Oh, thank you, Jessica. Yeah, the sky is turning dark north of Pennon for sure. Okay, yeah, Linda had a question. Will this make it down to Cottonton, Alabama? I think it eventually does. It's going to be much later this afternoon. You're down here below Columbus, so yeah, I think it does. Matter of fact, you're in that area where we expect to see the strongest severe weather possibilities. So I think there's a good chance you'll see a storm before the day is done. Fredonia, no, you're not clear. Look at what's coming out of southwest Randolph County. You still got to deal with that. All that's moving directly at you. So Deb says not a drop at her house in Delta. Yeah, give it a minute. You still got some opportunities headed your way. Kay says plenty of rain in the mountain community. No cutting the lawn this afternoon, that's for sure. What about Lineville? Tammy, welcome to the What About Club. You're good right now. There are still some storms off to your north and back to your northwest, so the day's probably not done for Lineville either. Folks, again, I'd like to remind you, if you can, we depend on your support to be able to continue to do this. We're actually in our 6th year of coverage here at Dr. Don's Weather for East Alabama and West Georgia. And we depend on your support to be able to continue to do this. And good gracious, we had over 30,000 views yesterday afternoon during our live severe weather coverage, and that warms the old ticker up. I can tell you it does to know that there are that many folks out there who like to watch us and depend on us for severe weather coverage for East Alabama and West Georgia. And for those of you who don't know me, I spent 22 years in Randolph County, Alabama. So I got to know the community in East Alabama and West Georgia very well. I was in broadcast radio. They got to know me. They got to learn that my niche is weather. That's just what I do. I live in Northeast Georgia now. I'm an emergency manager and kind of do some of the same stuff up here in White County, Georgia. But we depend on your support to be able to continue to do this. So if you can support us, we greatly appreciate it. I got the crystal ball somewhere. I'm going to take a break in just a few minutes. I'll find it. I do have the crystal ball. We depend on your support to be able to continue to do this. So if you can, there are links at the top of the video. I think they're at the bottom of the video on YouTube. Multiple different ways, whatever's more convenient for you. And hey, send me a message on Messenger if you don't want to do it online, and I'll give you the address. If you want to send us something in the mail, that's fine too. You can also head over to our weather store. You can pick up a t-shirt, coffee cup, a baseball cap. Part of the proceeds from the sales of those items come back to support us as well. But it's very important that you continue to support us so that we can continue to stream live and bring you severe weather coverage during times of severe weather. So please consider supporting us this afternoon if you can. And even if you do support us, we want you to support us on social media also. Make sure you do all those social media things. Hit that share button right now. And be sure that you like us, that you follow us, that you share us. Make sure you go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe to Dr. Don's Weather. That's extremely important. If you're relying solely on Facebook, you may not get notified that we're live until hours or even days later. So you've got to go to YouTube and subscribe to Dr. Don's Weather and click that little bell so that you'll know that we are live. Power is out on the Tallapoosa River at Corinth. So let's see if we have any updates here. Large hail core headed toward Goodwater. Oh, I should say so. That is a significant hail core right there near Brownsville. Just to the east of Hollins, just to the west of Pinckneyville. Hey, that's almost off the chart. Almost 70 dBZs. That means that is some pretty substantial hail taking place right there. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out now. This is going to be for Cleburne and Randolph. And that's going to be this area. They started with a special weather statement, but they're in the process of upgrading that to a severe thunderstorm warning. And that's going to be from Newell back to about Shulafini, or just to the east of Shulafini, all the way back up to I-20. So Hightower, you're getting hammered again this afternoon. Just dealt with this yesterday. Bucktown. So this area of southern Cleburne and extreme northeastern Randolph now under a severe thunderstorm warning. There you go. Reports of hail in Bowden. That would have to be just, if it's happening right now, it'd have to be just south of Bowden because that's where it's showing up on radar, between Bucktown and Bowden. Pea-sized hail in Anniston not too long ago. Thank you, Deborah. That would be that storm that's coming into southern Cleburne that's just prompted the severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Cleburne and northeastern Randolph. That's the same thing that came through Anniston, and we're getting reports of hail with that. But no question, the most significant-looking storm out there right now is this stuff just south of Brownsville. That's down there in extreme southwestern Clay County, right on the Clay County, Coosa County line, just north of Goodwater. We probably have some 1 to 1 inch hail, maybe a little bit larger, occurring right there. Weather Service is saying 1.25 inches. So we're looking at half-dollar sized hail in this storm moving down just north of Goodwater. Most of these storms this afternoon, if you see a severe thunderstorm warning, it's going to be for 1 inch or larger hail, which would be quarter-sized, anywhere from quarter-sized up to about $0.50. And back over in Troup County, we have that special weather statement for the western side of Troup County, basically from Lee's Crossroads west. And that does get out there on Lake West Point. So LaGrange dodged most of that storm, though you got a little rain falling. The heaviest part of it's back off to your west. Things are improving now up here in extreme northeastern Chambers. Things will start improving in Roanoke pretty quick. Wedowee, you probably got sunshine. Ashland, the sun is shining. And then we have another severe thunderstorm up here in extreme southeastern Cleburne County, extreme northeastern Randolph, stretching back over into southern and southwestern Carroll County. Joe's reporting the hail in Corinth was from penny-sized to about pea-sized hail. Power out on the Tallapoosa River in Corinth. Thank you, Susan, for the stars. I appreciate that. Mike said it was coming down in LaGrange. Thank you, Cecilia. If they ever have severe Live severe streaming coverage Olympics. I promise you, I'll train for it. I am going to step aside for just a moment. I'm going to leave the feed up. Let me look at this hail core again before we do that. Yeah, it's still there. Got some hail about to cross over Highway 22 just southwest of New Site, out there around the high school, the football stadium. All right, so I'm going to take just a quick break. I'm going to leave the feed up, though. We're not going to stop the feed because this is going to be, this may go on for a while. I'm going to zoom out so that you can see the entire area. And hang in there. I'm going to take a quick break. And then I'll be back and we'll continue with live severe weather coverage here on Dr. Don's Weather. Hey, once again, good afternoon, East Alabama and West Georgia. It's 4:05 p.m. Central, 5:05 p.m. Eastern on your Sunday, August 18th, 2024. Dr. Don in here with you as we continue with our live severe weather coverage for East Alabama and West Georgia. We have some big thunderstorms moving across the area this afternoon. Several severe thunderstorm warnings now in effect for East Alabama. And we now have some severe thunderstorm warnings in effect also for West Georgia, and several special weather statements in effect as well. And we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's start at the top, and then we'll work our way to the south. Severe thunderstorm warning continues now for extreme southeastern Cleburne, northeastern Randolph. Special weather statement for Carroll County down here around Bucktown. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't go with a severe thunderstorm warning right here. This is getting pretty strong. And that stretches down into northern Heard County as well. Hang on. Yeah, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Heard County. That's going to be off to the east, though. That's going to be for this storm that's coming out of southeastern Carroll County. A storm located just south of Carrollton near Oak Grove down to around Whitesburg. And so that's got the extreme northeast corner of Heard County. It's also going to get... let's see, northwestern Coweta County as well. Here comes a new severe thunderstorm warning for Elmore and Tallapoosa in Alabama. And that's for this storm that's sitting up there in northern Tallapoosa County. They've just extended it a little bit further to the south. So now we've got most of Tallapoosa County under a severe thunderstorm warning. A little bit of Elmore. Doesn't quite get into Lee County just yet, but it probably will. And there you go. The main threat here is going to be those damaging straight line winds in excess of 70 miles per hour. And now we're looking at hail 1 3/4 of an inch in diameter. So we're talking about anywhere from $0.50 to golf ball size hail with this storm. And that hail core, the heaviest of the hail core, just north of Eagle Creek or just west of Horseshoe Bend State Park. Right there is where that golf ball size hail is taking place. So heads up. This is probably going to affect Dadeville, or maybe just a little bit east of Dadeville. Moving right over the Eagle Creek area, though, there in Tallapoosa County. Buttston, moving into your location now. And then we have some more hail back upstream also, just north of Alexander City. This is just southwest of Hackneyville, or to the northeast of Kellyton. Also showing a little mesoscale right there also. Let's see what we've got going on here with the wind. We may have some rotation in this storm right here. Outgoing 16 miles per hour and incoming at 53 miles per hour. Watching the Weather Service to see. I don't see any discussion about this, but let's go in a little closer. We may have a little rotation taking place right there. That's just northeast of Kellyton. Out there just northeast of 280. Kellyton, you're okay, but You folks in Alexander City, especially over on the northern side of Alex City, need to be watching this right here. Nothing from the Weather Service on this, but nonetheless, we are showing some rotation in this thunderstorm. This storm is moving southeast at 30 miles per hour. Golf ball size hail and 70 mile per hour wind gusts are possible. I was just looking to see if we had a tornado tag on that one, but we don't. There's your hail core, and there's your inflow. So the winds are flowing into the storm here, and then coming back around on the backside there. And then that's the hail core. And if we've got a little rotation in this thing, it's going to be right in here. Again, that's just north of Alexander City, moving to the southeast. West Point, you got that storm there that is just west of Lynette, the heaviest part of it. Not a whole lot happening right there at West Point, but out there around the Kia Motor Plant and then off to the southeast, just due west of Lynette, right at the Troup County, Harris County line. Pretty close to 219. It's where the heaviest part of that storm is. Right there. Nothing happening in Roanoke. Matter of fact, the sun should be coming back out in Roanoke. We know that there were some power outages up there earlier, but nothing happening in Roanoke right now. The main areas of concern, the absolute strongest storm at the moment, no question, is that storm in northern Tallapoosa County, and we are beginning to see some indication there that we may have a little rotation going with that storm. And then, of course, we have the storm just east of Lynette. Strong thunderstorm coming out of Carroll County down into northern Coweta. And this storm that prompted the warning for Cleburne and northeastern Randolph has calmed down considerably. We do have a new severe thunderstorm, a special weather statement, I should say, up there around Pell City. That's northeast of Talladega. And then another special weather statement north of Stewartville in extreme southwest Clay. Boy, that's, you guys in southwestern Clay have caught it this afternoon. Same area that took this storm just a few moments ago is about to get another one. Just north of Goodwater, Brownsville, Hollins, just east of Sylacauga, out there on Highway 148 and Highway 9. And then we come downstream, you see that big one there just south of Hackneyville. The tide couplets have gone away. I still see some broad rotation in this storm, but I don't see anything that would be alarming now. That was just that one volume scan that had some tight couplets down here. Actually, at that time, it was north of Alexander City. But right now, the entire complex is rotating, no question. But that's typical for a thunderstorm. But we do have some hail going on out there. And it's a pretty good possibility we could be looking at some hail up to golf ball size. All right, so now we have the National Weather Service is continuing the severe thunderstorm warning for Tallapoosa and Elmore. That's for this cluster of the storms. They're now telling us winds in excess of 80 miles per hour and 1.75 inch diameter hail. That's golf ball size. So there could be some 80 mile an hour winds and golf ball size hail within this storm. And that couplet is back. Right there, 53 miles per hour. Right there. You have 44 mile per hour incoming. You have 53 mile per hour outgoing. So we may have something trying to develop right here, just south of Alexander City, down there toward 53, which is what you take to go down to Wind Creek. Right there, pretty close to the intersection of 280 and 53. Nothing official from the Weather Service, but right there. Weather Service is also warning folks down here in Dadeville some 80 mile per hour winds may be headed toward Dadeville as well. Right in here. Now, folks, 80 mile per hour sustained winds will cause a lot of damage. That will definitely bring down trees and power lines. It can cause a lot of trouble. We just got a severe thunderstorm warning for Tuscaloosa, too, for those of you that may be interested in West Alabama. Weather Service is telling us the inbound vortice has decreased with that last scan. So they were watching the same thing I was talking about because we had inbound and outbound going at the same time. So they were close to pulling the trigger on a tornado warning with that storm, or maybe a upgrade to a severe thunderstorm with a possible tornado. But with that very last volume scan, according to the Weather Service, the vortice has decreased. Still got some 60 to 70 mile per hour wind showing up out there. I want to look at this from Montgomery. Multiple trees down with power lines. I'm not sure where that's at. They didn't put that in the room. Reagan, I can't tell you for sure. There are more storms back up around I-20 that will be moving off to the southeast, so it is possible that Roanoke could see some more storms. Okay, that's looking at it from the Montgomery radar. It's a little dirty. I may have to go back to Birmingham. But I wanted to look at... Oh, here we go. Wow, look at that. Look at that. 73 mile per hour wind. So it is coming through Dadeville as we speak. Okay, that report of multiple trees down with power lines and at least 2 motor vehicle accidents versus trees is in Alexander City. And again, we are looking at some significant wind here. That little pocket right there just moved through Dadeville, headed toward maybe Camp Hill. And then we've got that 50 to 60 mile per hour wind out there on 280 between Alexander City and Jackson's Gap. So this is going to be, this wind is coming right down 280, probably just a little bit along and just a little bit south of 280. State Route 50, Jackson Road, County Road 15. These are in Tallapoosa County. County Road 89, County Road 89 South, County Road 15. North Thornton Road, Trimble Road. That's where this is going to be moving. This scan you're looking at is about 4 minutes old, so I'd put the wind now in this area. And you can see that there's a gust front out ahead of this entire thing. Runs right along there. That's the gust front. That's the outflow boundary from this storm as it moves to the south-southeast. So you're going to get gusty winds there, and then when this thing gets to you, right there along 280 or just south of 280, you've got some pretty incredible winds. Quarter-sized hail reported in Alexander City, 22 East, new site. We've got a warning on the way for Lee County, we're being told. This is going to be for the western side of Lee County. And let's go back. Going to switch back to Atlanta radar. Heads up Lee County, especially if you're over there on the western side of the county. We have a warning on the way. There it is. Notasulga, Auburn proper, Tuskegee, and Tallahassee. Now under a severe thunderstorm warning, primarily because of the wind involved in this particular storm. I'll read the text. I'll read the text of this to you. The National Weather Service in Birmingham has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for east central Elmore County in east central Alabama, western Lee County in east central Alabama, central Macon County, southeastern Tallapoosa County, and southwestern Chambers County until 5:30 p.m. At 4:24 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Camp Hill, moving to the southeast at 35 miles per hour. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail are possible with this storm. And I got to tell you, we saw some wind in excess of 70 miles per hour at one point with this storm, and it certainly could flex again. We have also seen on two different volume scans some mesoscale activity trying to develop, which means rotation, tight couplet rotation. Weather Service saw that as well. One spot flared just south of Alexander City, and then we had another one near Dadeville. They never did issue a tornado warning on this, but I would treat this as though it's a severe thunderstorm warning with extremely likely damaging winds in excess of 70 and 80 miles per hour, with a possible spin-up tornado at any time. Now let's go back over and take a look at the storm over in Georgia. This is going to be south of West Point Lake now. This is near Lynette, West Point, Gabbardville Valley, and there's a little finger that stretches all the way back out to Lafayette. And then the warning stretches down into northwestern Harris County. Let me check the wind on this one while we're over here. Leading edge of this line of storms, 40, 45 mile per hour winds. So your wind in this particular storm is right in here. Zoom out right quick, show you the entire area. Nothing going on at all in Randolph County. You're good. Still got some storms over there in southwestern Clay, moving down into northwestern Tallapoosa, and some storms back over toward Tuscaloosa. So we got a report of a tree on a camper at Holiday Campground with no injuries. Quarter-sized hail confirmed I-185 at exit 30 in northwest Harris County. We were warning you folks over on West Point to take cover because that's what happens. These thunderstorms with this kind of wind can bring those trees down, and of course, a camper is no match for one of these 60, 70, 80-foot pine trees we have here in the South. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued for the rest of Harris County. So the entire Harris County area under a severe thunderstorm warning now. Also, Muskogee County and Chattahoochee County. So the entire Columbus, greater Columbus metropolitan area and to the north under a severe thunderstorm warning all the way back up to I-85. for the same storm. That's pretty amazing. So from Columbus, actually south of Columbus, all the way back up to I-85 under a severe thunderstorm warning for the same storm. So they're giving you plenty of downstream warning on this. Same thing going on back over in Alabama. We've got warnings all the way down to Tuskegee for that storm that's still up there around Dadeville and Camp Hill. We have severe thunderstorm warnings stretching from Tuskegee all the way back to Sylacauga for two different storms, one just kind of piggybacking on the other one. Small cell popping up there just to the west of Franklin in Heard County, just north of Denver. Marble-sized hail in White Plains about a half hour ago. Paige is asking the question. She's got to drive from Roanoke to Auburn in about an hour. Yeah, I wouldn't advise it. I would wait until this storm clears Lee County, and that's probably going to be a minute, at least an hour. Miss Cecilia says her weather radio just went off, but Dr. Don was ahead of it. Well, I don't know if you can barely see the screen, but if you can't on that shot. Let me see. I can fix it where you guys can see it. Where's my camera? Right there. I'll mess something up if I do that. But anyway, just off screen, we have a monitor here, and we're monitoring the National Weather Service, both Alabama and Georgia, Birmingham and Peachtree City. And we can see in those chat rooms, this is a chat room for meteorologists, media, and emergency managers. And so the Weather Service is kind of chatting with everybody and telling everybody what they're seeing and what they're thinking. And so they gave us a heads up that they were about to pull the trigger on that warning. And so that's why I was able to say something about it before your weather radio actually went off. That's a cool tool that we have here. And I can actually talk to them. So if you guys report something of great significance, I can turn right around and send that to the National Weather Service. That gives them ground truth reporting, which is always good. We have all these cool tools and toys and technology, but nothing replaces someone telling us what they're actually seeing. It's very in pictures, videos and pictures and ground truth reporting is worth its weight in gold. Now, nobody needs to put themselves in any danger to do that. But that kind of stuff is good. The area of Auburn that's most likely to be affected inside that polygon. So from probably close to Opelika, all the way back down I-85, back down to Shorter, will most likely be affected by this storm. So here's Auburn, and this is your storm. And it's moving in this direction. So I'm just getting a camera set up here so we can watch Tiger Corner when this thing blows through. Display. Beautiful down there right now. So that's a live look at Tiger Corner in Auburn. It's a beautiful campus. War Eagle. New severe thunderstorm warning now for Lee County. That's right here. That's what we're looking at is Lee County, Alabama. This is going to be a warning for Lee and Russell. National Weather Service in Birmingham has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Lee County in east central Alabama, northeastern Russell County in southeastern Alabama until 5:15 p.m. At 4:36 p.m., a severe thunderstorm is located over Beulah, or 8 miles south of Valley, moving to the southeast at 35 miles per hour. Hazard with this storm is 60 mile per hour wind. So that's just accounting for, and it'll show up on the screen in just a minute. That's just accounting for this little portion of the storm that's right there on the state line that's just to the northeast of Beans Mill. There it is. Right there at Beulah, Alabama, Beans Mill area. So we have a couple of different severe thunderstorm warnings touching Lee County now. And I told you folks down there in Lee County your turn would come, and it has. That little area up there around Blanton that's moving into extreme northeastern Lee County. It's moving to the southeast, so that's not going to affect you down here in Bleecker. It's not going to affect you over here in Opelika. It's not going to affect you in Beauregard. Not that part of the storm. Now, this storm back up to the northwest that's coming out of Tallapoosa County and Chambers County will affect central and western Lee County. One of our neighboring counties has got a missing 57-year-old female, so I'm probably about to get a call on that one. We help one another when that kind of thing happens up here in the northeast Georgia mountains. When someone gets lost, it's typically in the wilderness, and that's not an easy task. Question about Jackson Gap. Storm sitting right on top of Jackson Gap right now, and then you've got another one coming. That's just south of Goodwater. That one doesn't look as strong, though there is a pretty good hail core with it. It's just a stormy afternoon across Tallapoosa County, all the way down to Dadeville, now moving into northwestern Lee County. And then right there along the Chattahoochee River from Lynette all the way down to Lake Harding, another nasty line of thunderstorms. Same places getting the same storms. I mean, look at this up here in Carroll County. They just recovered from one. Now they've got another one. Noonan getting hammered again. Back over in central Alabama, Tuscaloosa. Big storms blowing up over in Bibb County. And the focus area of all of this doesn't seem to be moving much. We thought that the best area for severe weather today would be south of I-85. Well, it's actually been between I-20 and I-85, and it's been ongoing now since about 1:30 this afternoon. So we've been live now for coming up on 2 hours, and it's just been nonstop between I-20 and I-85. And though we're beginning to see a few storms rumble south of I-85, the focus really has been up here between I-20 and I-85. What portion of these storms will hit Columbus, Georgia? All of them? I'm not sure I know how to answer that question. They're your storms. They're moving in this direction. And there's Columbus. Still beautiful at Tigers Corner. We're going to continue to watch this camera because this storm going to come awfully close to downtown Auburn. As a matter of fact, it should move right over campus. And see here. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to get on my soapbox. Look at the folks. I mean, there's not a lot, thank goodness, but there are a few folks standing out there in La La Land, just totally unaware of what's headed toward campus. These are the kind of people that need to really seriously work on their situational awareness capabilities. Now, severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for this area we're looking at. Yet you've got a student, of course I know kids are kids, you got a student talking on his phone, walking across the crosswalk. You got another student, there goes some folks with some pizza. Got to have the pizza during a thunderstorm. You have one with a backpack over there bent down with those papers scattered out all over the place, getting his homework together. There's another one back there on a bench. I mean, these people are clueless as to the storm that's about to move right through their area. They have no understanding of what a severe thunderstorm warning means. They have no clue that 70 to 80 mile per hour winds are about to come through, or this dude wouldn't have his homework laid out on the sidewalk. This is the part that frustrates me because there's no reason for it. All it takes is one lightning strike, and these folks could be seriously injured. They should be seeking shelter right now. instead of strolling around at Tiger Corner on a Sunday afternoon. They've got to be able to see the clouds to the north. Now, this camera is over at Toomer's Drugs looking back to the southwest. So we won't be able to see the clouds coming until they get right on top of us with this particular shot. But you feel my frustration? Because I don't like for anybody to get hurt. I don't like for anybody to suffer. And you know, of course, if you take a direct strike from a tornado, there's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, more people get killed, though, from indirect weather than from direct hit from a tornado. It's because they don't listen to what's going on. When will all the storms be over? Well, I mean, they're going to last at least until sundown. It's coming over Opelika. Hang on, let me go back to that one. It's coming over Opelika Walmart now. Well, Ribby, I'm looking at the radar. You can see it. You can see it off in the distance, but it shouldn't be directly over the Walmart just yet. There's Opelika right there. You may see clouds, but that ain't the big one. The big stuff's still back up to your north about 4 or 5 miles. So here's downtown Auburn. There's the hail core. Let's see what kind of wind we got going on here. Wind doesn't, I mean, there's some 30s. I don't see any of the 60, 70, and 80 mile per hour winds we had earlier. There's maybe some 30 to 40 mile per hour wind. That's out there on 280 just north of Aubrey or Cedar Brook. Yeah, certainly some gusty winds, but I just don't see the intense wind. I mean, maybe some 40 mile per hour winds about to move across Auburn. I don't see the 60, 70, and 80 mile per hour winds we were seeing back up here around Dadeville. And that's good. Watching that hail core right there, that's going to come very close to downtown Auburn. You can begin to see some darker clouds in the upper up there. In the upper, looking at the screen, the upper right-hand corner of the screen. And again, I mean, look at all the kids standing out there on the corner. Groups of them walking around everywhere. Hey, it's Sunday afternoon in college. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, Sharon says her power's still flickering back up there in Alexander City, and that's still a very respectable storm. And you're still under a severe thunderstorm warning up there. I mean, look at that. That's still a very strong storm from Kellyton down to Alexander City. Oh, there's a couplet, too. It's not very strong. 44 incoming, 56, 44 outgoing. I mean, it's strong enough, but right there. This would be just north of Fish Pond, just to the southwest of Alexander City, out there on Highway 22. Possibly got a little rotation going on right there. Oh, let's go back over here to Auburn. Let's go back to the Auburn camera. Check out the wind in those trees. Here comes that gust. Look at all the kids standing out there. I'm telling y'all, I'm fitting to get in my car and drive to Auburn, Alabama, and we're going to have a come to Jesus meeting with these young'uns. Somebody better call down and tell these kids to head for the house. Unreal. And so here they go. Maybe they're headed to the pizza shop. But look at the wind. Look at the wind in the trees. I mean, even the camera's shaking. And that's what's headed for them right there. This is what's coming into Auburn. Big hail core. It's probably going to come right across the top of the campus. Gust front coming through right now. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for the greater Auburn area. National Weather Service continues the severe thunderstorm warning for Coosa and Tallapoosa. 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1 3/4 inch sized hail. And again, this is Auburn, and that's what's moving into town. Go back up to Alexander City. Weather Service tells us there's more trouble coming through Alexander City, and that is a huge hail core. We likely have golf ball size hail there in Alexander City and out there on 280 just east of Alexander City. Again, right there where 53 intersects with 280, the road that goes down to Wind Creek State Park. And this is at least the second time today we have seen very large hail in this area. Now we have pretty good lightning taking place at Toomer's Corner. And we still have kids all over the place. Again, pay attention to the trees in the background, especially to the right. Some pretty good wind. Yep, there's a flash of lightning. There are more kids out walking around now than there was when we first started watching this. Yeah, I know. I was a teenager once, believe it or not. It's 1,000 wonders I'm here to, buddy, let me tell you. Watching that severe thunderstorm moving through Alexander City. For those of you who are just joining us, it is 4:57 Central, 5:57 Eastern on your Sunday, August 18th. Long-form severe weather coverage on Dr. Don's Weather. We've been going now for 2 hours and 10 minutes. We've had multiple severe thunderstorms with a lot of hail move through the Alexander City area, Dadeville. Now the leading edge of all that moving into the on campus at Auburn University. You're looking at the Alexander storm. That's a very large hail core. Most likely looking at some golf ball-sized hail there. And as we come on down to the south, the storm coming into Auburn, not as strong as it has been. That's what it looks like on radar. And that's what it looks like with our live stream from Toomer's Corner. Big storm continues over in Georgia, just across, actually eastern Lee County, and then across the Chattahoochee, back over into Harris and northern sections of Columbus. Big thunderstorm setting just north of Highway 80, just to the west of I-185. Stretches all the way back up to Beans Mill, Lake Harding, Blanton, and then to the east all the way out to just south of Waverly Hall. Small shower or thunder shower there in Daviston. A couple of pockets of very small activity now in central and southern Clay. Big storm over just to the northwest of Wetumpka. Not much happening in Randolph. Big thunderstorm trying to blow up there near Tallapoosa. And then to the northwest of Moody. And then in West Alabama, south of Tuscaloosa, northeast of Etowah, just to the north of Brent, and just southwest of Jemison or northwest of Billingsley. No question in East Alabama, this is the storm of the hour right here. New severe thunderstorm warning for extreme southeastern Carroll, southwestern Douglas, north central Coweta, southwestern Fulton until 6:45. That's going to be for this storm to the east of Carrollton. Another big storm over near Union City, just about right there at East Point and Forest Park, out on the southwest side of downtown Atlanta. We've done pretty good up here in North Georgia, Northeast Georgia. We have not had any thunderstorms today. The relative humidity has been bearable. It's been a pretty nice Sunday afternoon. Not so much down here. Yeah, I told you you're going to have 30, 40 mile an hour wind gust in Auburn when this came through, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Those of you that are reporting no power, I need to know where. Give me the name of the community or town that you're in. So Terry is in Columbus. The wind gust at Buc-ee's are huge. Well, the good side of that is you're at Buc-ee's. Fredonia's fine. Ain't nothing happening up there. Nothing. Fredonia's good. So down here in Columbus, that gust front running right out ahead of this line of thunderstorms is pretty nasty. I mean, 30, 40, 50 mile per hour wind gusts certainly not out of the question. Hailing in Villa Rica. Is Randolph County expecting any more today? I don't see anything that would be threatening Randolph County, though there are still a few pockets of storms off to the northwest of Randolph County that could end up coming through Randolph. I don't see anything of any great significance out there that would be a problem for Randolph. Back down to Toomer's Corner, the heavy rain has finally hit. And I'll tell you, the absolute heaviest part of this moved a little bit to the right of this camera, a little bit west and south of the position of this camera. Probably out there around the bypass and Wire Road is where the absolute heaviest part of this storm moved through the Auburn location. No question that the strongest storm in the area right now is this one that's just come out of Alexander City, headed for Wind Creek State Park. If you're down there camping, if you're anywhere on the northern side of Lake Martin, you need to go to your safe place. This is headed directly toward Still Waters. Maybe it skirts a little bit to the left of Dadeville. But I think Still Waters is a good possibility. It's right over Wind Creek State Park now. And then later on down the road, maybe Bama Park. Yes, Jackson Gap did get some hail. New severe thunderstorm warning coming for Lee County. National Weather Service in Birmingham has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Lee County and east central Alabama, and southeastern Macon County and southeast Alabama, Russell County in southeastern Alabama until 6 p.m. At 5:05, a severe thunderstorm was located over Beauregard, or 8 miles southeast of Auburn, moving to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. And that's her right there. And we're moving in this direction. So those of you over in southern Lee County and northern Macon County, heads up, your turn is on the way. And this stuff that's still up here in Tallapoosa is coming down the same track as the one that just came through Auburn. Maybe a little bit to the left of it, but not much. So I think we'll see more rain in the Auburn-Opelika area and back toward Notasulga as this storm gets into Lee County. Yes, Crackford is in the clear for the moment. Still a few more storms up around the I-20 corridor. Chambers is good. Cannot rule out a few more rumbles of thunder before the night's over with in all those locations y'all are asking about. But at the moment, you're good. You'll hear me say this from time to time. If I'm not talking about your community, then you have nothing to worry about right now. We focus on where the severe weather is actually taking place. And if there was any severe weather in those locations, or if there was severe weather headed for those locations, then we'd be talking about it. All right, so I'm going to step aside just for a minute, take another short break, and then we'll come back and continue to ride this for, let's see, what time is it? It's 5:09 on the central side of things. We're probably going to take this to about 5:30. And then we'll see where we're at 5:30. But I'm going to step aside just for about 5 minutes, take a quick break. I'm going to leave the stream up. We'll leave the radar up for you. And I'll be back in just a few moments. Dr. Don back in here with you on your Sunday afternoon, coming up on 5:17 Central, 6:17 Eastern. We are covering live severe weather across East Alabama and West Georgia on your Sunday afternoon. And we've been following storm after storm after storm that has moved through the Alexander City area, portions of Tallapoosa. We had storms up in Randolph, Clay, and Cleburne County, as well as Carroll, Hurd, and Troup, and Chambers earlier. But now the focus has shifted a little bit down toward the I-85 corridor, with the exception of some more storms trying to fire up in Chambers and then back up into Clay County as well. Now, these are smaller, and they don't appear to be severe at the moment, or even strong for that matter, with the exception of some stuff over in Coosa County that's getting its act together. But believe that's going to slide a little bit to the west of Alexander City. So things may be about to get a little bit better for Alexander City. You guys have really had it this afternoon with those storms. Now, I saw we were watching this storm as it moved into Auburn, and we'll take you back to the live shot of Toomer's Corner right quick. I think we will. Right there. And you can see, you actually can see sun off in the distance. That's looking to the southwest across Toomer's Corner there at College Street. And you can see some sun hitting those clouds back there. But the heaviest part of that storm that just came through Auburn was indeed out on the western side, out on the bypass back toward Wire Road. And I've seen some video of the wind when it came through there, and it was gusting about 40, 50 miles per hour. Pretty significant wind. This storm doesn't look quite as strong. We're looking at it on radar. It's the same storm that just came through Auburn. It's now down in the southern sections, just south of Beauregard, back over towards Smith Station, and moving through the Columbus area. A big thunderstorm over there. Thunderstorm warnings in effect now for the entire Columbus, greater Columbus area. And then off to the southwest, down toward Casita, Georgia. Severe thunderstorm warning extending down to around Hurtsboro and Alabama as well. So this part of the storm beginning to work its way out of our coverage area. Columbus Television Market covers this area pretty good. So we're probably not going to be spending a whole lot of time on this as it moves out of Lee County. But just heads up from Smith Station all the way down to Phoenix City and to Columbus. You've still got some pretty strong thunderstorms in that area. Then we'll go back up and take a look at East Alabama. I'll zoom out and show you the entire area. And you can see that we've just got some small spotted showers there in southwest Randolph. You guys had some heavy storms there earlier today as well. Real small storm up in northwest Clay. And even going way back up north of northeast of Birmingham. We've still got some storms trying to blow there as well. So this has just been an ongoing thing this afternoon. We really thought the focus would be south of I-85, but it's been between I-20 and I-85 all afternoon. We've just seen storm after storm after storm. You folks over in central Alabama, heads up. If you're in Autauga County, back to the northwest, big storm up in southwestern Chilton County, about to move into northwest Autauga County. And then storms trailing back over to just north of Demopolis also. So we are planning on staying with you until about 5:30, so about another 8 minutes or so. We'll continue to watch this, and then once we go offline, we'll watch it, and if we see anything that we think you need to know, then we'll come back and continue with our coverage. But for now, that's what we're looking at across East Alabama and West Georgia. Let me go up here to the chat room. Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate your kind words. And folks, if you'd like to support us, we have all kind of links that are scrolling in the chat room. You can also find them at the top of this video where you can support Dr. Don's Weather, and we do depend on your support to keep us going. I know the economy's rough right now. I get it. I completely understand. I have to buy those groceries just like you guys do, so I get it. I do. But please remember us when you can, because we do depend on your support to be able to continue to do this. We are in our 6th year of live broadcast here on Dr. Don's Weather. And look, for those of you who don't know exactly who I am or why we do this, East Alabama and West Georgia is kind of out there in no man's land as far as live severe weather coverage is concerned. Your big television markets in Birmingham and Atlanta, just not going to pay a whole lot of attention to East Alabama and West Georgia. And I'm not being critical. I've been in broadcast throughout my entire career, so I understand how all that works, and it's a numbers thing. The folks who spend millions of dollars on advertising in the Birmingham market and the same in the Atlanta market, they want to hit the largest number of people. And when weather gets over into East Alabama, rural Alabama, and rural West Georgia, the television stations are just not going to stay with it. They may scroll some stuff at the bottom of the screen. If we catch a tornado warning, they may jump in there for a minute or two and give you some information, but they're not going to give you wall-to-wall long-form coverage like we do here on Dr. Don's Weather. And so I spent 22 years in Randolph County in radio, and I've been in broadcast radio on and off my entire career. So that's my niche. That's what I do. And so what I do is I take that information from the National Weather Service. The guys and gals at the Weather Service do a phenomenal job, and I pass along that information. I'm nothing more than a messenger, and I'm able to visualize it and show it to you across East Alabama and West Georgia. So that's our purpose. That's what we do, and we cover about 15 counties across East Alabama and West Georgia. But if you're a longtime follower of Dr. Don's Weather, if we've got, if we have life-threatening weather taking place, I'm subject to cover weather in Nebraska. It's just what I do, and I've been known to go look at other parts of the country. So if you're ever watching us and you have some severe weather in your area, don't ever be bashful to ask about it, and I will certainly go take a look at it. Look at that, Danny Moody. Look at that, Danny Moody. Boy, you talk about a blast from the past. WPXC in Prattville, Alabama. That's where this started back in the late 70s. It was called Pixie Radio, WPXC 1410 on your AM dial. We broadcast to more cows and wild animals than you could possibly imagine. The studios were out on Highway 82 just west of Prattville, Alabama. That's where I got my radio start. Left there and went to WLWI in Montgomery. Left from there, ended up down in Enterprise, Alabama. Let's see, what just left me. I stayed in Enterprise for a couple of years and then went to Dothan, Alabama at WTVY. And then got out of radio for a little while and actually landed in Chicago, Illinois for 2 years, doing something totally unrelated to broadcast. And ended back in Daleville, Alabama at US 100. And then Roanoke, Alabama was my final stop back in the early 90s at Eagle 102, and was over there for 22 years before moving to Northeast Georgia, which was going to be in radio also at a small station up in Helen, Georgia. But as luck would have it, they went dark 2 weeks before I was supposed to start. And I ended up back in emergency management, which is what I did also when I was in Randolph County. You could write a book on what I've done in my professional career. Now I'm in charge of 911, emergency management, and animal control. I have learned a lot about how to take care of an animal shelter in the last couple of years. So there you go. Quick tour of what I do and why I do it. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. And good to hear from you, Danny. My goodness, man, it's been a minute. Hope everything is well with you, sir. So we're looking at these storms across East Alabama and West Georgia. Again, most of them now beginning to move out of our coverage area down into the Columbus market. We still have a heavy thunderstorm in southwestern Tallapoosa County. And extreme northeastern Elmore, just north of Reeltown, right there. That is a strong thunderstorm. beginning to move away from Lake Martin, or maybe over on the eastern side of Lake Martin. We still have some pretty good hail being indicated there. And that stretches all the way back up into Coosa. Just west of Rockford, we have a hail core. And just to the west of Alexander City, it's storming again. That's a small storm sitting over Lafayette. We have a small pocket over Budston, a new site, then just to the north and east of Wadley. That's probably going to move right over Roanoke, but again, that's very small. It is not severe. And the rest of Clay and Randolph looking good. Heard County, Troup County looks good. Coweta looking good. Carroll, for the most part, small shower just the northwest of Carroll County. And then if you take I-20 back toward Birmingham, just to the east of Leeds, back up towards Springville and Argo, we have some scattered showers up there also. Back in central Alabama, we have some storms moving out of Chilton County down into northwestern Autauga, and also southern Bibb County, moving to the south back down towards Selma. So that's kind of a wrap of what we're looking at this afternoon. Our plan here is to wind this down in about 2 minutes, and then we're going to watch this offline. And if we see a life-threatening or dangerous situation develop anywhere across East Alabama and West Georgia, then we'll come right back and continue with our live severe coverage. Question from Julia: is Reeltown going to get hit on this one that's coming into southern Tallapoosa? And the answer to that would be yes. There's Reeltown. Here's your storm that's just north of you, and that is moving to the south-southeast. So that will move very close to Reeltown. So if you're down here in Reeltown, it's just started raining. Make sure that you're indoors at a safe place and let this thing pass on through. You are under a severe thunderstorm warning down there at Reeltown, Alabama. Thanks, Lisa. Hey, Sherry Smith, thank you.
You're welcome.
I did not ask for your assistance, Siri. Y'all's phone do that? Just start talking to you? Makes me wonder exactly who's listening. So we are about to shut the stream down. We've been going for right at 2 hours and 43 minutes with your live coverage this afternoon. And we are going to put the severe thunderstorm watch back on. It is still valid. And it is in effect until 10 p.m. Central tonight. Now, I don't know that the Weather Service allows this to stay up that entire time. Even though we still have a few storms north of Birmingham, the emphasis now appears to be shifting into this area. So I'm thinking that maybe some of the counties just south of I-20 and north may get trimmed from the severe thunderstorm watch fairly soon, maybe north of I-20, I-59, as this entire area appears to be shifting in this direction. But we do continue with severe thunderstorm warnings in southern Tallapoosa County, down into Russell, southern Lee, Macon, and then back over toward the greater Columbus area. We have severe thunderstorm warnings just issued now for Tauga County, southern or southwestern Chilton, southern Bibb, down into Dallas County for this complex of storms that'll be moving toward Demopolis, Selma, and Prattville. These storms will be moving in this general direction. We do have some storms continuing in western Coosa. Just got a special weather statement for south central Coosa that'll move down into Elmore. Wouldn't surprise me to get a special weather statement on this stuff in eastern Coosa, but that's going to be a close call for Ellick City. You may get some more. I mean, it looks like you probably are. My goodness. This will be round 3 or 4. I've lost count for Alexander City. But it's not severe. That's the good part. This is just heavy rain for the most part. Maybe a little small hail up there on the north end of it that would drag through Alexander City. Now, it's just been relentless across Tallapoosa County today. And then some spotted light showers across Chambers and southern Randolph. A small shower out there around Dickert. It's headed toward Roanoke. West Georgia looks good at the moment. So that's what we've got. And again, we're going to be watching this offline. And if conditions warrant, if things start to get strong again, and I see something that I think is concerning, then we'll be right back and we'll continue with our coverage. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for our live coverage here on Dr. Don's Weather. Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. I'll see you back in here first thing tomorrow morning for your early morning edition of your primetime forecast for East Alabama and West Georgia from Dr. Don's Weather. Y'all have a great evening.